Hey there, fellow history buffs and midnight snack enthusiasts. Did you know that the smiling face on your KFC bucket once survived a real-life shootout, got fired from over a dozen jobs, and faced 1,009 brutal rejections before building a billion-dollar empire? Today we're cracking open the untold secrets of Colonel Harland Sanders, from his ragtag beginnings in the dirt roads of Indiana to the finger-licking global phenomenon that changed fast food forever, revealing the grit, the scandals, and the sheer stubborn genius that made him a legend. Buckle up for a ride that's equal parts heartbreak and hot chicken. If you love these hidden gems of history, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a story that bites back. Picture this: it's 1890 in a rickety four-room cabin near Henryville, Indiana, where a baby named Harland David Sanders enters the world amid the scent of fresh-baked bread and farm soil. His dad, Wilbur, a gentle butcher tending an 80-acre plot, dotes on little Harland, the oldest of three kids. But tragedy strikes early. Wilbur breaks his leg in an accident and dies just 5 years later from blood poisoning, leaving 9-year-old Harland to become the man of the house. With Mom Margaret slaving away in a tomato cannery, earning pennies while sewing by lamplight late into the night, young Harland's tiny hands learn to whip up meals from scraps, sizzling veggies from the garden, hearty loaves that rise like hope in the oven, and whatever wild berries or hunted game they could forage. Can you imagine a kid that age playing chef to keep his brother and sister from starving, all while dodging the shadows of poverty? It's a scene straight out of a gritty novel. But this was real life, forging a survivor who'd later say, "Every failure's just a stepping stone." By 10, Harland's out earning wages as a farmhand, milking cows at dawn and dreaming of bigger things. But school. He drops out in 7th grade after a tussle with algebra and a hot-tempered stepdad who marries in and makes home feel like a battlefield. At 12, he's painting horse carriages in Indianapolis, dodging the belt of a boss who thinks kids are disposable. Then hopping towns as a farm laborer, his calloused palms proof of a childhood stolen too soon. Fast forward to 16, and Harland's lying about his age to join the U.S. Army, shipping off to Cuba as a wagoner, hauling supplies through humid jungles, earning a medal for pacification duties before an honorable discharge sends him back stateside, restless and ready for the next scrap. Life's too short for sitting still, he'd quip later, but oh, the jobs that followed. A laundry list of dead ends that'd make anyone question their stars. From steam engine fireman on the Norfolk and Western Railway, shoveling coal into roaring furnaces at 18, defending union buddies in heated arguments that get him canned for insubordination. To law student by night on the Illinois Central Line, Harland's 20s are a whirlwind of ambition clashing with chaos. He marries Josephine King in 1909. A quiet beauty from Alabama, and they welcome daughter Margaret, then son Harland Jr., but stability, elusive as a cool breeze in July. Practicing law in Little Rock, Arkansas, at 21, self-taught and sharp as a tack. He wins cases with folksy charm, but one courtroom brawl with a deadbeat client over unpaid fees tanks his rep, leaving him blackballed and broke. I figured law was too full of crooks anyway, he'd laugh off in his autobiography, but inside, it stung like salt in a wound. Back on the rails as a laborer, then hawking life insurance door-to-door for Prudential, charming housewives with promises of security, he barely had himself. He gets fired again for mouthing off to the boss. Rhetorical question. How many times can a man get knocked down before he starts swinging? For Harland, the answer was as many as it takes. By 30, he's launching a ferry boat service across the Ohio River, shuttling folks between Jeffersonville and Louisville in choppy waters, turning a tidy profit as secretary and shareholder, $22,000 when he cashes out in 1922, a small fortune back then. But Harland's got inventor blood. He sinks it all into manufacturing acetylene lamps for rural homes. Only for electric models from Delco to flood the market on easy credit, bankrupting him overnight. That one hurt deeper than a shotgun blast. He'd recall the failure echoing like thunder in his ears. Undeterred, he pivots to tire sales for Michelin in Winchester, Kentucky, but the plant shuts down, stranding him jobless in 1924. Enter Standard Oil. At 34, he's managing a pump station in Nicholasville, but the Great Depression's shadow looms, closing it by 1930 and leaving him with 3 kids, a strained marriage, and a fire in his belly that won't quit. Imagine staring at an empty pantry. Your wife's worried eyes on you. That's the fuel that lit Harland Sanders' unbreakable spirit. Then comes the turning point. Folks, a rent-free Shell station in Corbin, Kentucky, where Harland hauls in $1,000 a month by 1930. Not from gas, but from frying up country ham and steaks for dusty travelers in a backroom dining spot. But it's chicken he's perfecting, slow-cooked in iron skillets over open flames, the sizzle drawing crowds like moths to a porch light. Yet competition brews dark. Rival Matt Stewart, jealous of Harland's glowing sign, sneaks in one night and slathers it with black paint. Words fly, guns draw in the moonlit lot, bullets whiz, and Harland takes a grazing shot to the chest, pumping 2 into Stewart's would-be partner before the law hauls them all in. No charges stick to Harland. Stewart's convicted of murder for killing a shell hand in the fray. I ain't proud of it, but a man's gotta stand his ground, Harland would mutter years later. The scar, a badge of his wild youth, this shootout. It's the gritty prelude to his fried chicken symphony. Word spreads like wildfire through Corbin's hollers. Harland's meals are manna for the road-weary. He grows the goatee, swaps the frock coat for crisp white suits, and rechristens his spot Sanders Court and Calf, a 140-seat haven after a suspicious fire guts the original in '39. Food critic Duncan Hines raves in his guidebook. Steaks hot and juicy, chicken finger licking good. Prices from 50 cents that'll make you holler for more. But Harland's innovating underground. Tired of chicken taking 30 minutes to fry, he experiments with a $75 pressure fryer in 1939, sealing in juices while slashing cook time to mere minutes. By 1940, at 50, he nails the holy grail, his original recipe of 11 herbs and spices, scribbled in shorthand on a basement notepad, locked away like buried treasure. It ain't magic, it's method, he'd say with a wink. But oh, the mystery it sparked. World War II throws curveballs. Gas rationing shutters his Asheville motel in '41, sending Harland to run cafeterias in Tennessee and Oak Ridge, feeding atomic scientists on Uncle Sam's dime. Back home, Mistress Claudia Leddington Price, vibrant, quick-witted, and 20 years his junior, holds the fort, stirring spices, while Josephine fumes from afar. The marriage crumbles by 47. Harland weds Claudia in 49, her steady hand blending the secret mix, shipped nationwide. but success. It's a double-edged sword. Interstate 75 slices through Corbin in the early 50s, bypassing his cafe like a thief in the night, traffic vanishing overnight. At 62, Harland sells the place for peanuts, left with $105 a month Social Security, barely enough for beans and cornbread. Retire. Hell, that's for quitters, he growls, packing the Plymouth with cooker, spices, and unyielding grit. What follows is the stuff of entrepreneurial epics, a 65-year-old road warrior, sleeping in his car, pitching his recipe to skeptical diner owners from Utah to Florida. Rejection after rejection, doors slammed, laughs scoffed, but Harland persists, cooking demos on the spot, the aroma of crispy perfection. Winning converts one plate at a time. By 1952, breakthrough, old pal Pete Harmon in Salt Lake City bites, opening the first Kentucky Fried Chicken franchise. Sales triple overnight, 75% from that golden bird. Handshake deals spread like gospel, 5 cents per chicken sold. That's Harland's cut. As he crisscrosses the U.S. in his white suit, a Southern gentleman with a salesman's fire. Don Anderson coins the name over coffee, Kentucky Fried Chicken, evoking bluegrass dreams and homey warmth. Franchises bloom to 600 by 64, dotting Canada, the UK, Australia, even Jamaica's sun-soaked shores. Harland patents the pressure fryer in 62, trademarks its finger-licking good in 63. But at 73, the empire's weight crushes him. Bookkeeping nightmares, investor squabbles. Enter John Y. Brown Jr. and Jack Massey. They buy it for $2 million. Harland pockets the cash, plus a lifetime salary, stays on as ambassador, globe-trotting 250,000 miles a year in commercials that beam his twinkle-eyed grin worldwide. Sold my birthright for a mess of pottage, he'd ponder, but deep down, he knows, this chicken's flying higher than he ever dreamed. Oh, but empires have thorns, friends, sharp ones, that prick even legends. Post-sale, Harland's the smiling face, but inside, he's seething. Hubeline buys KFC in 71, slashing costs like a butcher on bargain day. Gravy simplified to wallpaper paste, in his words. Crispy chicken devolving to fried dough balls stuck on bone. Surprise inspections turn legendary. Harland storms in unannounced, samples a drumstick, and if it flops, he hurls it to the floor with a curse that'd blister paint. Goddamned slop. Franchisees quake at his force and variety of swearing, as the New Yorker quipped in 70. But they respect the old man's nose for quality. They turned my baby into slush. He'd rant to Claudia over late-night chess, his white goatee twitching with fury. Lawsuits fly. He sues Hubeline in 73 for misusing his image in hokey ads. They counter in 75 after he blasts their gravy as sludge with wallpaper taste. He wins, settling out of court, but the wounds fester. Then there's the family fractures, untold heartaches behind the logo's grin. Son Harland Jr. dies at 20 from infected tonsils in 32, a loss that hollows Harland, pushing him deeper into work's embrace. Daughter Margaret pens defenses in her book, painting Dad as a libido-driven charmer, not the cheater whispers claim, but the 47 divorce from Josephine. It splits the clan like kindling, with Claudia stepping in as the glue, her spice-mixing hands steadying the storm. Harland's no saint, infidelity rumors swirl, his temper a family legend, but Claudia's loyalty shines. Together, they reopen Shelbyville's eatery as the Colonel's Lady in 68. serving original recipe dinners amid lawsuits from KFC brass, fearing competition. Settlement comes, they sell, but Claudia's dinner house endures today. The sole non-franchise spot, greenlit for that sacred 11er blend. She was my rock in the rapids. Harland confides in rare, tender moments. Their bond a quiet victory amid the empire's roar. Faith enters late, a soft light in the twilight. At 75, in a Louisville Assemblies of God church, Harland kneels for baptism in the Jordan River during a 65 pilgrimage, emerging reborn alongside Claudia. Befriending Billy Graham and Jerry Bell, he shares testimonies on Revival Time Radio, his gravelly drawl weaving salvation with spice tales, the Lord's recipe for life. Persevere through the fire, Freemason to the core, he funnels stock into charities. The Colonel Harland Sanders charitable organization aids kids' hospitals, christening a Mississauga wing in his name. Yet, leukemia strikes in June 80 at 90. Pneumonia claims him December 16th in Louisville's Jewish hospital. He'd joked weeks prior, "I'm tougher than that bird I fry," laid in state at the Kentucky Capitol. 1,200 mourn at KFC HQ's open casket, burying him in white suit and string tie at Cave Hill Cemetery. By then, 6,000 outlets in 48 countries rake $2 billion yearly. His face, eternal on buckets, whispering failures, just flavor in the making. As we wrap this wild tale, let's savor the takeaways from Harland Sanders' saga. Resilience isn't born in ease. It's hammered in hardship's forge. From 1009 no's to a yes that fed the world. His secrets: innovate relentlessly. Hello, pressure fryer. Guard your passions fiercely. That recipe's still vaulted in Louisville. And never let age dim your fire. 65 was his launchpad, not landing strip, but mysteries linger. What if he'd quit after the lamp flop or shootout scar? Would KFC be the crispy colossus in 145 countries today? Or speculate wildly, could those 11 herbs hold a lost Appalachian cure-all whispered from his foraging days? Ponder that over your next bucket, friends. What rejections pushing you toward your empire? Drop in the comments. What's your biggest kernel moment? That failure that fueled your fire? Share below. Like if this hooked you, and subscribe for more untold histories that stick to your ribs. Until next time, keep cooking up dreams, finger-licking good ones. Thanks for joining the feast.